Everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things, back with a Ink of the Week review. Last week I used my new Lamy Vista with Jade Noir, and I touched on this a little bit when I did my unboxing, but earlier this week, this was a great combination. I really liked writing with this. My daughter-in-law tried it, and she enjoyed the writing experience. I'm going to keep this inked up because it just was so favorable to me. Let's see, I wrote that it flows very easily. It was very wet, very consistent flow. I said I like and would buy. I need to close parentheses there. Which I have bought. I bought a bottle of this after sampling it, but I definitely like this ink. It's such a dark green. It almost looks black, so it feels I don't know, like it would be good for, I'm not really sure. I guess I just like the darkness of it, where it's something other than black, but it just has a more like serious feel or grounded feel. That sounds funny to say, but sometimes when I write with the lighter colors, it's like it's really pretty, but there's something about going back and reading something for me that's in a darker color that's a little bit easier to read. I don't know. I'm not sure that I know how to explain that. And I know I've said that before, but I do love that ink and I would buy it again. I have bought a bottle from having just tried the sample. It's probably an ink that I will, as long as it's available, choose to keep around because I just have such good writing experiences with the Jade Noir. And I was especially testing it out in this Lamy. And I really liked the combination. The only thing I'll say about this Lamy, let me see if it does it. It's okay there, but sometimes it has a little bit of a hard start. So my other two Lamy pens are fine. This one just does that a little bit, but it's not too bad. It really isn't an issue. I'll just like on that down stroke, it may be dry for a second. Basically very wonderful. And then I noticed too, it'll start really dark, like just here when I just wrote that, and a couple test little writing sessions I had earlier. It'll come out very saturated, very dark, and it'll lighten up somewhat. It's almost like it just kind of evens out, but it still comes across very much like a very dark green. Let's see. Very smooth. It was great on Tomoe River paper and the Cosmo. I think it's a good ink. Those are the papers I tend to use the most, and it's worked quite well with those. I've even played around with it on my Stalogy paper, and it's not unpleasant on the Stalogy, but I think that I just prefer these two papers so much that I always go back to those. So yeah, definite thumbs up on the Jade Noir and the Lamy Vista. By the way, this was a broad nib. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it is here if you're happening to be looking at my notes. This week I'm trying my Sailor PGS Nebula with the Lamy Tourmaline ink. So I'm switching from a Lamy pen to a Lamy ink. This was a gift, a surprise from my husband. And it's a beautiful pen. I had showed it to him. It's the Pro Gear Slim, and this is a broad. It's actually a 14 karat nib. So I've had fun playing around with that. I haven't quite found the perfect ink for it yet. So I'm thinking that this, let me write the ink down. The Lamy, this feels so nice and smooth. By the way, the Lamy Tourmaline ink seems like a fun match. I've gotten away from feeling like I need to have my inks and my pens matching, but I do like to do that with this and then my Leonardo Momento Zero Blue Lagoon or Blue Green. I've heard it called like 3 or 4 different things. This is kind of similar. Here, I'll show you. This one has been a super nice writing experience. This is a little bit smaller and slimmer. I think I kind of prefer the chunk But they're both beautiful pens. This one is just so gorgeous with the little flecks, the little bits of sparkle in it. But I like kind of like the size of that a little bit more, how it feels in hand. Anyway, with these more, I mean, they're a little bit more of an expensive pen, but they're not like hundreds and hundreds or anything like that. Definitely more than a TWSBI or a Lamy, but I like to have a matching ink with those. And these, it doesn't matter as much to me in my more kind of casual pens, I guess you could say. And interestingly, though, too, I just want to comment briefly that the writing experience with this is absolutely wonderful. I had it tuned. This one is very nice. This is my favorite. But when I pick up a TWSBI or a Lamy and put an ink that I like in it, it's such a reliable experience. Like, I can order a TWSBI Eco in broad and know that I'm going to like it. And I feel like you get these beautiful pens, and then sometimes you're just not sure, though, how the nib's going to be. I'm pretty much a newbie at fountain pens, and the whole scheme of things, I know very little, but then I know more than, say, my oldest son, who's kind of getting an interest in it. So I can impart what I know to him, but I know that I don't have a lot of experience. But my personal limited experience has been sometimes these nicer pens are middle of the road nicer, maybe. You don't know what you're going to get with the nib necessarily. So I find that interesting and a little bit frustrating too, because yes, they're pretty to look at, but shouldn't they have an equally dependable writing experience? To me, it's fun to have a couple of these pretty pens. These are probably the few of my prettier ones. I would like to think that you could ink up a pen that you've spent a bit of money on and it would write to the same level that it is beautiful. So that seems to make sense to me, but it doesn't seem to be what it's all about. So yes, to backtrack, I love having these, but if I had to pick, I would choose the dependable writing experience over something that's just pretty to look at. But I do enjoy these. I do like them. And I like having them. I guess I'm feeling like this one's great, my Bennu Briolette. These two I've had a little bit of trouble with and have had some help with the nibs. And that, to me, is kind of aggravating to get a new pen, and then you go to write, and it's scratchy or it hard starts. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of rambling, but tell me what you think about that, why that is. Are people paying for the beauty of the pen more than they're paying for the nib? At what point, what price range does one go where you know that the nib is going to be equal to the beauty of the pen? Those are some things I would appreciate comments on, whatever your thoughts are on that. I'm happy with these, though, very much now. But they didn't come writing wonderfully. But they are very pretty. Okay, so anyway, this coming week, Sailor Nebula Pro Gear Slim with the Lamy Tourmaline. I'm going to see if that's a good match. Something that when I pick up and write, I'm like, ah, yes. That's how I am with the Kujaku in this one. I love it every time. I don't really want to switch it out. I'm kind of curious to try another ink or two, but it's so pleasant, I don't even want to mess with it. And so I'm kind of trying to find an ink maybe that works nicely with that. Okay, that is all on this, and then I wanted to show you, if I can find it on my desk here. Yes, there we go. My husband and I just dropped my daughter off at college a couple days ago, and near the campus, oh, this is going to be loud, I know, just crinkling, sorry. There's a coffee shop called Vintage Paris. Yeah, Vintage Paris. It's in Branson, Missouri, and they sell coffee and teas and things like that, but they also have a little area where there's some little local craft items. So I bought these charms while I was there because I thought they would be fun traveler's notebook string charms. So like, you probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm here on my ink swatching book. I have a coin. It's got the 2 holes. This just has 1, but it would be a similar thing of just hanging it there. The 2 holes lets it lay flat. When it's like this, you're going to probably have it where it's not quite flat on the book, but you could also use like I could use a bulb pin or something, a garment pin, I think they're also called. I just thought these were really fun. They're locally made in that area. And I picked out one from each color that they had that are some of my favorites. So the greens, the golden yellows, these deeper turquoisey, browny blues, and then this is sort of looked a little bit more red at the store, and it's kind of looking brownish in this lighting, but either way, I think those are really unique, and I think they'll be a fun touch to some journals down the road. I didn't have a specific immediate purpose, but sometimes I see stuff like that and I'm thinking, okay, you know, pen pals or something to decorate a new journal with or have on hand for a gift. So that's all. I will quit talking. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon. Take care.